Their focus? Reimagine the flight experience, where it can and should take us. Their work shapes the global aviation market, and their history clearly rates the distinction: aviation pioneers, aviation innovators, aviation leaders. Thinking outside the box is what they do. They were the first to break the sound barrier, the first to certify a commercial helicopter. They were aboard NASA's first lunar mission, and they are defining the future of on-demand mobility.
And we are in the entrance to the Hall of Fame in the San Diego Air and Space Museum. The Hall of Fame features pictures of 400 basically genius people who contributed to the mechanics, the art, and the science of aviation. Right next to me are two pictures of the Wright brothers, Bernoulli and Cayley, people that were instrumental in design and origination of actually flying things that were heavier in air as opposed to balloons. This Hall of Fame, again, is around to the right side. It's significant because as you go along and you read, you can see what it took to get to the state of the art that we have today. Standing at the entrance to the San Diego Air and Space Museum, this gallery actually is a mural that was painted in 1935 through 1936 by a man named Juan Larrinaga. Juan Larrinaga was from Baja California, born in 1888, and became involved with painting murals and scenes and things like that for productions and operas. He went to work for one of the film companies in 1910. In the early 1920s, he was working on movies such as King Kong and King Kong's Son, or whatever it was called. He was hired by the San Diego as they developed the Palisades area of our park, which is basically the south part of the park. He designed this mural. It's 458 feet long, and it's the history of transportation, or the progress of transportation. When you look at this thing as you go, you can see the progress of transportation from sailing ships or ancient people all the way through 1935, 1936, and including airplanes, rockets taking off, that sort of thing. It's significant that it was well done, finished in early 1937, I believe, restored 1979. It's a fantastic achievement. Larrinaga did other things after that, as well as his brother. He finally became an artist. They moved to Taos, New Mexico, and he died eventually in 1947. This is a significant event that he did this here. He also did the mural in front of the San Diego Auto Museum and in front of what is now Comic-Con. So easy to get distracted by all the things on the floor, but I think you could probably spend an hour just looking at the march of transportation above us. Again, we're in what would be called the Hall of Fame, and across from the pictures of the Hall of Fame, the individuals who participated in and helped develop the industry, pilots, engineers, scientists that got us to where we are today. But this mural to my right is sort of a thought of what it would have been in 1910. In 1908, the Wright brothers took their first airplanes to Europe and flew them and actually sold them there. This mural shows avenues or areas of airplane development. It has balloons, it has airplanes, it has the famous airplanes like this one immediately to the Blériot. Further on, there is one called the Deperdussin flying in the air. And as you look above us, we have a real Deperdussin, a French airplane of 1908 through 1912 design. This mural is like 60 feet long. At the far end from here, they have a whole row of hangars who were the famous designers of the time. There's even a small picture of a demonstration of a rotary engine. This is a fascinating mural. It was done by a guy named Petrie in 1984, an Australian designer. This definition here, it says it was painted in 1984, and it says it's imaginary about the brave aviators, many of whom would die a few days later in aerial combat over the skies of Germany and France. Visit us in San Diego Air and Space Museum and walk through the history of that time. It's a wonderful mural.